1983年推出的超夯电视影集，你有看过吗？没看过很正常，因为可能你都还没有出生呢。不过现在这部影集卷土重来，要推出电影版哦，而且你看看演员名单星光闪闪，就连最强老爸都出现在名单上面哦。全球首映会的红毯，立着要带您来抢先看。
Our husband stole a lot of money, and now those people want it back.
你好 Hi, Thai people in Taiwan. I want to come over. Please invite me.
For the guns.
Me? From where?
It's America. Figure it out.
You have a lot of fans in Taiwan ever since. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, people loved your performance in the Galaxy, Guardian of the Galaxy, and also Uncle.
Oh, great.
Yeah, and you are always very powerful. I mean, the character you portray is always a powerful woman.
Mm-hmm.
So in this movie, it is also a powerful woman's story.
It is. I mean, it's a story about women becoming powerful in their own right. I mean, I think so much of the story is about women who at the beginning of the film do not feel like they are independent necessarily, or they really exist in a world outside of their husbands, and we watch them kind of break down those ideas of themselves and become independent and become strong. And I think it's something that women can really relate to, and I hope that they find it compelling and honest. And you know, I'm really proud of telling that story because I think it's something that really needs to be told.
Do you think you're a powerful woman? You're very tall. We have to look at you like this way.
Yeah, I mean, I'm tall. I hope that internally as well, you know, soulfully, that I can be powerful as well.
Can you tell us the best reason to watch?
You should watch Widows because it's an incredible film about incredible women.
This is Belle. She's fast, she's smart, and she can drive. Come on, we can't do this, the three of us. We need a driver.
This is not your place. Please ask her to leave.
I'm standing here. You can talk to me.
I don't know you.
You don't have to. I'm happy to leave right now.
Wow, it's amazing. How did you put all the paint on your hair?
I have a wonderful, wonderful stylist, and she put into each one of these into my head by herself, and she's just been amazing. She just makes sure that I have some fun looks.
Yeah, it is amazing. And does it mean anything related to this movie?
Well, no, not particularly. I think it just was something that I wanted to try. I always try and like put out new different looks. I felt like there was a need to feel ethereal, that's sort of like softer and opposite to this, but there's like a soft hardness, which I think is the film, I guess. Us as women, there's like a roughness about us, but we have our femininity, so being able to use it this way gives us that, I think. Yeah.
This movie is actually a remake of a very famous series. I mean, TV. There's any new meaning up to date?
I think it's still very, very relevant. I think, you know, the film expresses how us as women, we as women can, you know, be powerful, take our own lives into our own hands, do what we need to do in order to take care of each other and our loved ones. And I think that to see that in this way is kind of refreshing. I don't know that we've seen a heist movie like this before.
We get caught. I know what the consequences look like.
I haven't seen it yet. Do you think it's a revenge movie or a love story?
Both. You know, it's a story about, you know, losing, coming back and finding yourself after serious grief and loss and building yourself back up. And it's also a story about anger and, you know, and there's so many different characters who are, you know, attacking each other and getting revenge on each other and trying to get power over each other. There are a lot of dynamics going on.
That sounds like a superwoman movie.
It is in its own way. Its own way. I mean, they're not doing the right thing necessarily because they are robbing and they also are, you know, stealing. But, you know, it's a heist film. But yeah, I mean, these are powerful women on screen. It's a very cool thing to me to show that.
The original story was from the 80s. So to rewrite this script, to rewrite the whole story with the new, I mean, the modern ideas for women, is it difficult?
You know what? It wasn't too difficult because Linda LaPlante, who wrote the original, was a badass woman in the 80s. So she had already created these really tough, cool characters already in the 80s. And they didn't feel necessarily old-fashioned. They just needed to be, you know, be moved into our new world and, you know, made our own.
If you're in, we need to get you started right away.
You look lovely.
Thank you. Thank you.
What was the criteria that you think of taking a...
Well, it helped that Steve McQueen was at the helm. I like anyone who's at the helm of the ship who's bold and who's courageous. I want them to drive that ship and even drive through icebergs and try to slay dragons. You know, I'm at the point in my life where I want to be bold. And Steve McQueen was that sort of leader, that sort of director, that sort of visionary, you know, with the role. He doesn't have a propensity for ordinary, and neither do I. So I think that you don't see an ordinary movie in there. It's just like you don't see ordinary casting. Everyone is different. You've never seen Michelle Rodriguez this way, or Cynthia Erivo. I mean, Elizabeth Debicki. It's, you know, and it speaks to the boldness of Steve McQueen, but he was the reason I jumped in there.
That character is quite different, opposite to your real life, because your real life, this is a perfect husband. Yeah, so how did you get into the emotion of this character?
Well, I look at the script. That's number one. I look at the script. I draw from my life, any choices I've made, because these women made some really bad choices with men. And we all know that. And we all know that it was something in us that wanted to see something in them that was not there. So I drew on that aspect of my life. And, you know, I could go on, but, you know.
And remember, there's no perfection. It's always work. Always.
Now, the best thing we have going for us is being who we are. Why? Because no one thinks we have the balls to pull this off.